All right, so we're going to start right at 2 o'clock today. So welcome all majors in the School of Engineering. Today we are going to discuss the transfer credit approval process. So if you're taking any summer classes, how that process works and to get it approved prior to you taking it. Before we get started, I want to introduce the presenters. So my name is Kim Loring. I'm one of the Hub advisors. We also have Kelly, one of the other Hub advisors, and then Mary also from the registrar's office. And now I'm going to hand it off to Kelly.
Thanks, Kim. So just a little overview of what we're going to be discussing today is we did some introduction. We're going to go over the steps of the transfer approval process. We'll have a quick sheet of everything that you can need to complete in one sheet. We also have that on our website as well. And then we'll go through how this impacts fall registration and any questions and contact information. We'll also go through our website as well where you can find this information. Okay, step one, find a course you wish to take outside of RPI. So you can use the transfer course guide to help you to get started. Keyword is guide. It's a constantly updated platform. So we just need to confirm everything with the registrar's office and make sure, and with the appropriate school. Note if the course is not listed, you can still ask for approval, but you have a backup course just in case, or a backup school where you could take that course. All courses must be approved by the appropriate department and before we send that form to the registrar. Step two, you will find the school's course name, number, and description, and you'll put that on the form as well. Go on to the school's website. They probably have something similar to what RPI has in terms of a catalog. They should. You'll find the information. You might need a course description. In some cases, you might need a syllabus, so that might require additional research on your end in order to take the course and get it approved by the department. All right. Next, you will get the form. So find the registrar form on the registrar's website. Then you'll click Transfer Credit Approval Form. It will look something similar on the right-hand bottom screen here. You have to fill in your personal information and the course name, number, and you'll attach the description in the email. So once you have filled that out and saved it as a PDF, that's when you'll send it to the appropriate approver. Next slide. All right, so here's just an example of how to fill this out. Once you fill out the transfer credit approval form and save the document, like I said, that's the most key part here. You can transfer in a maximum of 32 credits. That includes AP, IB, and Cambridge credit. So anything that involves transfer, a course that you did not take here, with the exception of no exception, sorry. So including all that credit. If you have a credits of AP or transfer that you will need the School of Science approval, lab courses must be in person. So key thing here is Physics 2 is a very popular course to transfer in. Things like that, that has to be calculus based and the lab has to be in person. You hear us say that a lot. If it's another class like math, you have to be kind of careful. We are a 4-credit system. If a school only offers a 3-credit class, that is what you will transfer in. So you will never get more credit than what you are taking at that school. So just be mindful of that. If you do end up taking a 3-credit course, please meet with your advisor so we can come up with a plan of how you will make up that credit in that core requirement that you need. So like I said, save it as a PDF, and that's when you'll send it to the appropriate approver. And I will pass it to Kim.
One more thing just to add,
Yeah, go for it.
for the transfer credit max, that also includes dual enrollment. I know we didn't write it, but I just wanted to state it for everyone. So that's any transfer credit that you transferred in at all. That's 32 credits hours max. And then I think there's the last part. So before completing the form, confirm with the institution that there are no prerequisite or grade requirements for class enrollment. So say you do want to enroll in Physics 2, even if you completed Physics 1, say you get a C minus, but the other institution requires you get a C. you didn't meet their prereqs. So even though you got it approved on RPI's end, doesn't mean the other institution will let you take it. So you have to be aware of those requirements. We only know the requirements for RPI because we're RPI academic advisors. So you would have to do some research in order to find that information and just verify. So, okay, you filled out the form, you have everything you need. Now, who do you send it to? So, math or science is going to go to the Science Hub, and there's their email right there. For any humanities, arts, social science classes, or Haas, you're going to send to Haas Info. And then engineering courses, you're going to email to Kurt Anderson and also CC Dana. And also just a note, if it's an engineering or a Haas, they require course syllabus instead of just a description. And that's just so they can analyze it and do a comparison to make sure it's applicable to the curriculum here. Um, you can also CC us on it, which we don't mind because it just keeps us in the know. Obviously, it's not a requirement, but just a recommendation. All right, so the course is approved by the school. Now what do? You're going to send it to us as advisors because we need to sign off on it. Once we sign off on it, we're going to submit it to registrar and copy you on it. So that way it creates a ticket. And then that's when Mary comes in and Mary's going to review it. And then we'll submit another ticket to you just to let you know that they received it. And that's just so it's on file with registrar. So that way in the next few steps, you'll see where you have to complete the class and transfer the credit back in. They already have the approval already, so you don't have to worry about that. So next, so now you register for the class through that other institution. So you go through all their requirements, you meet everything, you took the class. You have to get a C minus or higher in order for it to transfer back into RPI. If you get a D, it's not going to transfer. So if you get that C minus or higher and it transfers, that grade actually does not follow with it. So it just transfers in as met credit. So that could be good or bad for you. That's dependent on each individual, but it just doesn't transfer in or is calculated towards your GPA. Also, hypothetically, we have this question, hey, I got a D in Calc 2 and I want to retake it over the summer. You can do that, but the issue is you already passed it. And then if you take it at another institution and it transfers in, it doesn't fix your GPA. So that's why we always have you talk to advisors before you do anything. So this is just the quick sheet. It's all the steps that we just spoke about. It's just in one PDF. This is going to be on the website. I will show you this later on in the presentation. But just know it's not a hard process. You do have to do a little bit of research, but it is doable. So if you're taking a course now over the summer and it's a prereq for a fall course, you'll need an override granted by the professor. So say you're taking, I'm going to use the Calc 2 again, taking Calc 2 over the summer, but you want to register for differential equations for the fall. You don't have the prerequisite for Calc 2 for the differential equations. So you'll need to email the professor, or if you already have the professor, talk to them in person and request an override for it. Sometimes professors will give it, other times professors will say, once you complete the course, let me know and we can get you registered. It's at the discretion of the professor to let you in or not. And like I said, there's a little note, they might require some proof of passing also, because what they don't want is you to come into a class unprepared. They want to see you succeed. So just something to note for when you're going into registration, as you're going through SAM season, make a little side note for yourself that you're going to have this additional step if that's the case. All right, now I'm going to open up for any questions that we may have.
I am not seeing any questions in the chat.
All right, that's no problem.
And if you do have them, guys, you could still add them. So just, feel free to add anything to the chat if you have questions.
Okay, well, while we're waiting on those, I want to share the website. I know you guys hear about the website all the time from us, but we're going to keep talking about it. So if you didn't know or you haven't heard already on one of our other webinars, we update this website ourselves. So as soon as we get new information, we try to update the website. So this is a great source of information. Even if we're not available in the office, if it's a weekend, go to the website. It most likely will answer your questions. So we're directly on the link directly on the general website. I'm going to click Class of 2028. And then if you scroll down, you'll see all our lovely webinars. This is where the recording is going to be held for this one, and there's recording for other webinars we had in this spring. Our drop-ins, some other major links, our SAM requirements, hint, hint, wink, wink. And then we're going to go over to transfer credit process after matriculating at RPI. So that's after you started taking classes here. Before is your AP, IB, Cambridge dual. So if you do the drop down, you're going to see that lovely PDF that we have with the quick sheets, all the information you need and hyperlinks. You also have everything hyperlinked here. So at this point, this should answer all your questions. Also, if you download the registrar document, it's going to have all the instructions on the back of it as well. So if you don't want to listen to this or review it, go to the back of the sheet. It'll give you all these instructions. But I believe that's it. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Wait, Kim, before you do that,
Oh,
actually, would you
yeah.
mind showing everybody what the transfer course guide looks like?
Oh,
The link's right on there. I just want them to see how it is set up so students can kind of navigate. It is organized by school. So if you scroll to the bottom, it's alphabetical. So
yeah.
hypothetically, if you're looking for like Northern Virginia, you would look under N, and then it will tell you what courses have been historically transferred in the past. But again, we want to reiterate that every course that you're taking this summer has to get approved ahead of time, but this will give you course numbers to kind of give you a launching space to look into their website. So, you know, you could look at the equivalents and kind of look it up and figure out where you want to navigate from there. So I just find that it's helpful to see it physically because some students don't really know what they're looking for when we reference the guide.
You make a great point, Karen. So hypothetically, say you want to look at chem over the summer. So it looks like it's transferred in the past. Even though it's transferred in the past, this is just a guide. So you still have to get it approved by this designated school, so School of Science, and your advisor has to sign off on it, and it has to be submitted to registrar. Um, Sometimes students are like, well, what if I just decide to take one randomly over the summer and I don't get approval? The issue is you run into the issue of potentially it not being approved because it doesn't meet criteria. So you just wasted your time and your money on a class that won't transfer. So that's why we keep telling you get it approved, get it approved. Right now we're in the beginning of February. A lot of schedules aren't launched yet for the summer just because some institutions are just starting or just started. So you have time to review it. So don't stress yourself out about it, but you're going to want to get it done prior to leaving for summer. So that way you have the approval in hand and all you have to do is register and make that payment towards that institution. So those are just some recommendations from us. Again, I
Kim,
will,
I think Mary has her hand up.
oh, go ahead, Mary.
I just wanted to note, just because there are some schools like Hudson Valley, where the list is relatively long. There is a search option. So if you click on the search button, actually, if you go to the back to the transfer guide, so let's say we'll go to Hudson Valley, if we could. Okay, so then once you're on the list, if you're looking for a specific course to see if it's previously transferred, at the top there is a search button. If you click on that, you can actually narrow it down by the course equivalent here, at there, or even at RPI also. So you just click equivalent course. So it's underneath the course, underneath the course code. Should be able to search. It didn't come up on that one. So if you click, so let's see. Actually, so I'm not sure who's controlling it, but if you want to click the button equivalent course right underneath that type in bar. Sorry, yeah, that one there. You can actually just pull it up by course specifically, just so you don't have to look through pages or anything like that. You can actually just search it specifically. I just wanted to make a note of that.
Thanks, Mary. I did not know that, so I appreciate it. If there's any other questions, I'm not sure, or concerns.
I will note some majors are stricter than others. So now as you're going through your student advising or advisor meetings, now is the time to start thinking about those summer courses. So where are you going to take them, getting that course approved? No such thing as too early. So if you want to get them approved now, just so you have better planning for your summer, uh, we're all for it. So start bringing them up in your student advisor meetings or your SAM meetings so that we know what your plans are and that we can best assist you in your graduation timeline. So just putting that out there, now's a great time to start doing this.
All right, if there's no more questions, that will be the end of our presentation. Like Kelly said, if you have any questions regarding your specific classes and how you should go about transferring credit, schedule a meeting with your advisor, attend drop-ins, just get in contact with whoever your advisor is. That way you can be educated when you're making that decision. But otherwise, thanks for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful day.